Happy New Year. So I'm starting the year off a little differently than I normally do. I'm doing a little kickoff video to sort of catch everybody up on what's going on and talk about what this year is going to be about. I actually wanted to do one of these last year, but with COVID happening and sort of being unmotivated and all that, it just didn't happen. What I wanted to do was kind of cover what I was up to in 2019, which was going back to school and finishing up. I was going to do a video on my final project, which I never got around to doing either. So I'm just going to show you guys a little clip here. I had actually made an arcade machine and designed and made my own game that was played, or that was demoed in it. And it was sort of the way I wrapped up my semester studying computer science and user experience and all those sort of things that I'm wanting to focus on. Of course, 2020, COVID hit when I was ready to go to the market, and I more or less became a stay-at-home teacher for my 2 kids. But in my free time, I do stuff with the car, and I actually continue doing training and more education, things like that, and I make projects. That's sort of what I've been up to during that time period. But last year did crush a lot of my plans. I was supposed to be making up for my lost time, seeing old friends, racing, doing things with the car, and of course, just getting out of the house. Now, I did get out a bit to go hiking, things like that, but it didn't go as planned. And that is what it is. But with this kickoff, I want to do more episodes than I had been doing. I went and got some new equipment. I have a new gimbal for the camera. I have a new microphone. I had a microphone I used to use, but got destroyed at one point during one of my shoots. So I have, hopefully, a better setup for doing things. I even have a new intro for this season to sort of kick things off. Now, I'm going to start the season off with some things that are actually not in the garage or on the car. Don't worry about things about the car. So I've been doing some renderings of body kit concepts to sort of go along with finishing up what I want to do with the car. Way of sort of visualizing and conceptualizing to get it where I want to be. And I'm going to do a whole video on that, as well as some other like in the lab projects I'd like to do about the car. But some of the other winter projects I really need to get to. One of them, my trunk is red still, and I want to kind of deal with that. I'd plan on painting it, but I have some leftover black vinyl I might just put down and call it done for now. I also want to maybe relocate my battery again and make a cover for it so that it gives me a little bit more room in the trunk so I can actually make the car a little usable for road trips and things like that. And another project I really need to deal with this winter is the car. I believe the car is actually running really rich, and because of it, there's a lot of exhaust fumes to deal with coming out from underneath the car. And with the windows open, it's a bit much, especially if I want to take the kids and stuff out for a ride. So I'm going to do a few things along the lines of that, which might be readjusting the throttle position sensor and doing stuff that's in the BGB that sort of recommends how to deal with maybe rich conditions. Once that's done, I just want to confirm there's no exhaust leak. I just want to make sure the car is completely safe for taking people around and that it can be fully enjoyed. I've been driving it and I have been enjoying it some this year, but I just want to feel 100% confident about everything about the car. Another project I'm going to be dealing with this year is I'm doing a little bit of research on my spindle situation. Now, some of you may know I have gone ahead and modified my spindle. I am running a stock spindle that has had the steering arm drilled out and a tie rod flip kit put into that. I'm also running hubs from a RAV4 that allows me to have 5x114 bolt pattern. People are starting to run the Prius Knuckles for racing. It has a larger bearing and it's of course lighter because it's all aluminum. But I don't know if I'm going to go that route because one, I've already got new wheels, which are a different bolt pattern. And of course, I spent time and energy building the brake kit I have now, which is set for 5x114. So my options are leave things as are, or I can even look at the IMTC knuckles, which are still and have the 5x114 with a slightly larger bearing. But I've also looked into using the Prius spindle and a different hub. But what I've found is most likely there is not a 5x114 option that fits right in. It's possible I could do a little bit of machining, but in the end, what I really need to weigh out is, do I need it? I think if I was doing a lot of track events, the extra bearing is definitely something I really need to consider. But the fact that I mostly do autocross and I just enjoy the car on the road, I don't know if I need to go all out. So at the very least, I'm probably going to start designing my lower ball joint kit. I need to draw up the bracket that I'm going to weld in the adjustable monoball pin. That's going to be a little bit of effort. I do have some new CAD software, and I'll have to take all my measurements and confirm all that. And other than that, we're just going to get into it. So, like always, if you're not already subscribed, make sure you like and subscribe, and let's get this year going.